Welcome to Mind Atlas, a space where philosophy meets the pulse of reality, where ancient wisdom, modern science, and untold human stories come together, not to preach, not to provoke, but to invite you on a journey into what makes us think, feel, believe, and become. Here, we explore life not as a competition, but as a shared voyage. We honor kindness over conquest, needs over greed, and the harmony between man, nature, and truth. I believe in the religion of humanity, the courage of doubt, and the responsibility of awareness. This is not just content, this is a mirror to society, to belief, and to yourself. Let's begin. Have you ever wondered why some people still refuse life-saving blood transfusions? Because they believe it's forbidden by divine law? Or why millions cling to the belief that the earth is only 6,000 years old despite overwhelming scientific evidence? Why do people pour milk on stone idols while their neighbors starve? Or pray over money, expecting it to multiply? These are not rare anomalies. These beliefs shape elections, influence law, decide life and death. Welcome to Mind Atlas, where philosophy confronts faith, superstition collides with science, and the timeless search for truth continues. This isn't a crusade against belief. It's a call for clarity, for courage, for curiosity in a world where belief can uplift or enslave. Religion is the opium of the masses, wrote Karl Marx, not to mock faith, but to warn how belief can dull our will to question. Galileo was imprisoned for revealing the earth orbits the sun, a fact now taught in every school. Giordano Bruno was burned alive for proposing the stars were distant suns in an infinite cosmos. Socrates was executed for corrupting the youth by encouraging critical thinking and challenging mythological deities. They weren't heretics, they were ahead of their time, punished for truths we now accept. The conflict wasn't truth versus falsehood, it was power versus reason. And this battle still rages today. In some places, livestock are revered while starving children beg in the streets. Elsewhere, spiritual leaders preach against medicine while living in excessive luxury. In certain regions, unscientific rituals are promoted as cures, while basic healthcare remains neglected. When belief becomes law, reason becomes rebellion. Across societies, ritual often overrides reason. Devotees walk across fire, sometimes forcing children to follow. Some are crucified in public reenactments, their bodies pierced in painful devotion. Others replace traditional sacraments with fast food and slogans in the name of modernization. Meanwhile, ancient philosophies, from Indian Samkhya to Chinese Taoism, avoided divine superstition altogether. The Samkhya school spoke of consciousness and nature without invoking any gods. Laozi's Tao Te Ching emphasized harmony with nature, not obedience to a deity. Even early Buddhism focused on suffering and liberation, not worship. They weren't anti-spiritual, they were pro-human, pro-truth, pro-balance. Superstition is often a mask, hiding the machinery of control. In some regions, women are jailed for revealing their hair. Elsewhere, girls are told their voices are too tempting to be heard in public. Certain communities hunt people with genetic conditions, believing their body parts bring fortune. It's not religion, it's fear weaponized. Authors have faced assassination threats for writing fiction. Activists have been exiled for questioning religious patriarchy. Power thrives where fear silences reason. And it's easier to dominate people who believe their suffering is sacred. Crying statues, healing water, sacred smoke. Science investigates. It finds condensation, trickery, psychology, but belief persists. Because the story is more powerful than the truth, pilgrims walk for days, kneel before painted rocks, drop money in donation boxes. Holy sites claim water that heals, but it dries up when donations stop. Fragments of ancient relics exist in multiple places, often beyond physical plausibility. Faith sells, doubt doesn't. Science asks questions. Dogma often punishes them. That's why Galileo was silenced, why Darwin was vilified, why climate scientists today face harassment. Because truth, when inconvenient, is labeled dangerous. Stem cell research is blocked not by data, but by doctrine. Bertrand Russell warned against blind belief. Carl Sagan urged skepticism. Richard Dawkins challenged superstition publicly, facing wrath and admiration alike. They didn't kill God. They lit a torch for reason. In some doctrines, suffering is sacred. Women denied anesthesia during childbirth, told pain is holy. Saints glorified for starvation. Monks self-mummifying in devotion. But who benefits? Not the poor, not the women, not the sick, but the powerful grow richer. The prophets get fatter. The voices of protest go unheard. Where pain becomes virtue, resistance becomes sin. In some sects, child marriage is holy. In others, LGBTQ plus youth are subjected to harmful conversions. The less educated a population, the more they rely on superstition. Poverty breeds prayer when education is absent. Is all religion wrong? Absolutely not. Faith gave strength to freedom fighters, hope to survivors of horrors. It builds communities, offers comfort, inspires poetry. But faith that demands blindness becomes tyranny. We must ask, can faith evolve? Can we preserve its beauties and purge its brutality? Can it become a light instead of a leash? Belief is powerful, but truth is transformative. Don't fear the question, fear the silence that follows obedience. Because the ideas we're forbidden to question are the ones most in need of examination. Believe in curiosity, believe in doubt, because that is how humanity moves forward.